Hello everyone, welcome. Hope you're doing well today. I am Umbras, and today we are back in Gran Turismo 2. Welcome for WGT, hope you're doing well. Yes, we have our wonderful AMG E55, and today we're going to be doing a bunch of one-make races, as well as trying to fill a garage as much as possible by doing some of the standard, well, it's not some of the standard, some of the special races. We do have, I believe, one more luxury sedan race to do. I want to see. Yeah, we do. And that is 591 horsepower. So that is the power level we're going to be around. We'll probably have to lighten the vehicle up a little bit. We have a lot in the 80s Sports Car Cup to do. A lot in the Historic Cup, as well as, you know, one-make races as well. So we got a lot to get through, I think. So let's go to the North City. Let's get our Mercedes upgraded just a little bit. Mercedes is way down here by the park. I don't remember what events there is. Okay, right, it is the SLK trophy. So no need for all the other stuff. All right, let's reduce. Yeah, let's reduce the weight a little bit on the Mercedes. We got plenty of money right now. Lots of money. So we can afford to kind of, you know, spend a little bit. Let's get some sports tires. Yeah. Some grippy boys. And let's see what else we can do to increase the power. An air cleaner. Alright, so that has already been purchased there. So already improved the performance a little bit from the engine. Computer, yep, that's been upgraded. NA tune-up. Oh, okay, so we can buy the stage 2. And that'll give us about 50 more horsepower. Yeah! So I think that'll be solid. Hopefully no, I don't think there's any turbo upgrades for this. Yeah, I thought not, with it being a fairly large displacement naturally aspirated engine. Usually it doesn't let you put in a turbo upgrade. So yeah. And anyway, let's dive right in to the races. Get some of the final luxury sedan race beaten. Yes. High speed ring. So, stupid YouTube like. Oh no, I'm sorry. Yeah, YouTube's been a little bit stupid. Hopefully not too much issues though. But let's jump in. Some of these cars will be over the 500 horsepower range. So I'm a little bit nervous, but we do have a lot of the upgrades, as our volume in game is a little bit loud. Let me dial that down just a click or two. There we go. And thankfully this engine's got lots of torque, so you can really, you know, get that low RPM acceleration. And you hear it as well, the rumble of the V8. Alright, come on. Brake just before the grass here. Alright, we got a Jaguar. We have... Wait, is that a Dodge Stratus? Is that a front-wheel drive Dodge Stratus? No way. I'm gonna put 360p watching the stream. Oh, okay. Low resolution Isaac Umbras. Low resolution Isaac Umbras. I mean, to be fair, at least the game itself won't be affected that much because it's got the PS1 graphics. But yeah. Unfortunately, it might be an internet issue. It might be YouTube. I know YouTube's been a little bit wonky in that past couple of days, just being a little bit silly. Holy cow, the Dodge Stratus! Absolutely gapping us on the straights. What the hell? I was not expecting a front-wheel drive American V6 powered car to have this amount of horsepower to beat us on the straights. I was expecting a Skyline. I was expecting the Skyline or like one of the Mercedes or one of the European ones to give us the most trouble. But no, it's the Dodge Stratus. That's the Dodge Stratus. That is ridiculous. That is genuinely silly. Alright, final straight. There we go. There's the finish line as well. Boom, shakalaka. No issues there. Hello, welcome Mr. Midnight. We have just won the final race of the luxury car, the luxury four-door race. Ravens versus the Chiefs is the one. Right. And I know you want the Ravens to win because the Taylor Swift stuff and everything. That's the main reason. I'm like, wait, you're not a big fan of the. Sorry, I won't be able to watch because NBC isn't working. Ah, that's a rip. Hey, welcome to Satellite Gaming. Hope you're well today. Welcome everybody coming in. We have just defeated the final race of the luxury four-door car race. And so I want to see what car we have added to a garage, because hopefully it is another vehicle that we can use in some one-make events. More than that? Uh-oh. More than that. Yeah, I know you said also like the Chiefs fans are. Chiefs being the Niners and two Super. Ah, so it's also the team rivalry as well. Ooh. A four-door GTR tuned by Nismo. That's kind of nice. It's a shame it's only 300 horsepower, but that's very, very nice. Honestly, like I like that a lot. That's the good stuff. All right, I want to see. Firstly, I want to see if the AZ1 is finally in the dealership. And now game inside 7. Oh my gosh. All right, is there an AZ1 available? Yes, finally. Oh, and it's in the classic red as well. Yes. Oh my gosh. Go figure, one of the hardest cars to find is a little tiny Japanese K car. So let's see. We've done the Demio race. We've done the Roadster. Okay, we're not done the racing style, the Roadster trophy. I know what has been shut off so far, and my patches on by run. So yeah, you got a week done of surviving. Bravo on that. Alright, the AZ1 race. We pay 8 grand for a car. We get 3 grand for the race itself. But I mean, it's the AZ1. It's an adorable little car. I'd love to own one of these IRL. Lightweight, mid-engine. You get the gull-wing doors. You get the cool history behind it. You had the rarity behind it as well. The right-hand drive. The fact that it was never sold in the States. Oh, look at all the different AZ1s as well. Depending on the different like body kits. Oh, that is cool. You have a couple different versions of the AZ1. You have one blue one as well. Everyone else is like, we want it red. Then you have one blue one. I'm gonna do a quick undercut across the curbing here. Gonna be a massive slipstream battle down the back straight. Oh! Yep, that 2 times, so, but I was able to get back in progress pretty fast. That's good. Hey, each time you learn just a little bit more about the game, how to complete it and everything. Oh, we're losing grounds. Come on. The easy one. Little 63 horsepower Japanese K car. 660 cubic centimeters of displacement. Little turbocharged inline 3-cylinder engine. Very lightweight. This, alongside the Suzuki Cappuccino and the Honda Beat, are basically your main staples of the Japanese K sports cars. A lot of people know during the 90s, the Japanese kind of created an unofficial gentleman's agreement for the high-end sports cars, where they limited to only 280 horsepower so that people would, you know, be less inclined to use one or the other in street racing. Didn't do the best job of preventing people from using them in street racing because people kind of figured out, oh, the cars are actually more powerful than that. But, you know, the official numbers were 280 horsepower. Well, there was another agreement for the Japanese K cars in order to meet emissions requirements and everything, in order to prevent them from being too fast and too dangerous, where they were limited to 660 cubic centimeters of engine displacement, but also 63 horsepower. That's mostly just because of the whole horde of zombies just chilling. Yeah, just chilling in a random bathroom. Oh, he's taking that inside line from me. Oh, are you kidding me? Oh, that's gonna absolutely kill our run. That's gonna kill our momentum. Fuck. Yeah. The spawning just doesn't quite make sense for some of the AI in that game. Alright, so we need a little bit of upgrades because we can't get a good draft off of them. That's a little bit disappointing. So let's go muffler 63 horsepower. 66 horsepower for 4 grand. Okay, let's see what else we can do. Maybe cheap turbo will be the way to go. Yeah, 4 grand. I think it's you 66 horsepower or 105 for the same amount of money. Which one is the better dollar to performance ratio? Alright, let's see what track we're on now. Now the tracks are randomized for the one make races, so it could be quite literally anything. This one, it's ooh. Is this? This is reverse Grindelwald. I think it's the first time driving the reverse version of Grindelwald. We may have tuned up the Mazda a little bit too much. We may have tuned up the Mazda just a little bit too much. Then again, they're keeping pace, so eh? Oh, Grindelwald is such a beautiful track. I'd love to see this in a modern Gran Turismo game. It would do well for like a lot of the historic and slower sports cars, I think. Kind of similar to Alsace currently is in GT7, where it's again used in a lot of like the historic car races and all that stuff. This would be another good one for like, you know, your slower cars, Japanese K cars, your historic sports cars. Could even host a race with the old Honda F1 car here, since again a lot of the older F1 races were just kind of on closed street courses. Is that the AutoZam? Yes, it is. The AZ1. Beautiful little car. We finally found one in the used car dealership, so we can use it in the one make race. And it is, it's serving us well. It is an absolute beaut of a vehicle. I love the look of it. It's just so cute. And it's got the gull-wing doors as well. I like the CRX of it also. Ooh. I mean, the CRX for the better power to weight and the better aftermarket support is nice. But I love the target top look of the Del Sol. So it depends on what I'm doing. If I want something that's good for like the autocross or like the track day car or whatever, the CRX, the older CRX. But if I want something that's a bit more of like a cruiser, something, you know, to take the wife out on with the weekends, you know, with the top stored in the trunk, and just kind of enjoy some nice twisty roads, then the Del Sol. That being said, just a heads up, here in the States, they are both known as the CRX. It's just the first, or the second generation CRX here in the States. But yeah, they are both CRXs here. It didn't really get the Del Sol. It wasn't really known with the Del Sol moniker in the US. They were just kind of known as just a different CRX. The Super Mark III. Welcome MJ Swizzle. Hope you're well. I'll have to consider the Super Mark III. Right now we're going after a bunch of the one make races. We're going after the one make races. So we finally were able to get some to get the AZ1 for the AZ1 one make race. And this thing, absolutely beautiful vehicle, serving us well. Might be wait the Dodge, yeah. So a couple reasons. One, it's easier. I mean, I've beaten most of the mainline events in the game. Right now, I'm going off after most of the one make races, which require, again, a lot of like specific types of cars. Like this is the AZ1 race, so it requires only the AZ1. We're pretty far into the completion. Gran Turismo. I know. I love basically GT2 through GT4, like the three best of the Gran Turismo games. They're so good. But going back to your question, Petra. Basically the automatic transmission version, which is one of the ones that were more popular in the United States, wasn't that good. It was Dodge didn't really make that many the good automatic transaxle there. It was very fragile. The manual transmission versions though were pretty solid, and even today the Neon does have a cult classic in a lot of, you know, grassroots motorsports and everything. Just join that's 5 no day. Yeah, no issues there. Just kind of, you know, letting you know why. Could we do? I don't think we can turn that one into the tune version. I know we still have an MX-5 racing version race to do. Can we turn this into the racing version? I'm not sure, because again, it's the tune car. What else do we have? Okay, yeah. So we gotta buy an MX-5 and turn it into the racing modification version to complete the last of the Mazda one make races. See if there's any good used Mazda MX-5s. Yeah. Welcome, Mr. Luki. Just saw the Hatsu Hyjet on the Facebook Marketplace. Was right here in Drive. Ah, the cute little arcade car. Yes, such adorable. Honda has a similar one as well. Very similar performance. Again, you know, inline 3, somewhere around 40 to 60 horsepower. Absolutely adorable. $1,500. Ooh. It's not bad. So that's the thing, I keep seeing stuff on like Bring a Trailer and all that, and I'm like, that would be a fun car to have. And then you're like, but I don't have the space to store it because I live in a townhouse. So I'm content with just my little beige Corolla. It's an adorable little machine. So unfortunately, we don't have a good vehicle to turn into the race car. So we have to buy a new MX-5. Ooh. Yes. let's get these racing modifications, and let's I want to see how well this will do in the one make race for the MXI, because that is the last one make race we have for Mazda, is the racing style at the Roadster Trophy. You spend over 100 grand getting the car ready, and the race itself only gives you 5 grand. So hopefully, I know we have a couple of 80s sports car races as well, so we might be able to tune the Mazda for some of those lower powered races there. Oh, okay, Grand Valley, the full Grand Valley, the reverse version. Alright, a lot of these are the NA generation of Miata. I don't think there's any... I can't see any NB generations. It's hard to tell right now. The game usually tries to match the vehicles you use and match the performance level. I say that as they take off down the straight, so we're gonna have to kind of outmaneuver them. Thankfully, the AI does drive a little bit more passively at Grand Valley. You see them all kind of bunch up into the chicane there. So they do struggle a little bit with some of the corners here. Some of the more tighter technical tracks. The game's AI, especially when they're more in a pack, they end up trying to outbrake each other, and they end up into the wall. And if you're far enough behind, as long as you're on someone on the inside like this, you can usually make some ground on them through the twistier sections. And you can see again, every corner they're just running just a little bit wider. So we're right within a second of them. Alright, we struggled a little bit there. So we're about on pace with them currently. Just a little bit slow. Can't quite get a move done. So we gotta really, yeah, the AI, the AI are quite quick sometimes. Other times they're really slow. So it's difficult here, at least, trying to find a good balance. Because I want to make sure the races are close as well. I want to make sure I put on a good shot. I don't want to have us completely demolish the AI. I want to make sure we get into, you know, close battles. But sometimes it's a little bit difficult. Alright, come on, gotta get back into the slipstream of them. Down the main straight, and hope that they all kind of run into each other, going into the double hairpins. Alright, about a second behind. Not terrible, but not great. There we go, carry a little bit of speed. The downside is we were on the outside heading into the chicane, the double hairpins. Alright, up in the third. That's a little bit better. Run a defensive line on the inside, make them go on the outside. They have more power than us, it seems. They have considerably more power than us. Yeah, you can just see going through here. The AI do have a little bit of upgrades on their vehicles. They have the light. Oh, the car is already maximum, already fully lightweight. You have to get the maximum weight reduction tune. You have to get the maximum weight reduction tune to get the racing modifications anyway. Which is why the racing modifications are so expensive, because you have the already high price of the racing modifications plus all the weight reduction upgrades you need to get that. So okay, the AI have a little bit of a power advantage, so let's try to even the playing field a little bit. Let's try to even the playing field a little bit. It's weird, sometimes the AI will be like completely stock, right? And then other times where the AI actually does have a pretty solid power advantage over you. And there isn't really much way to tell unless you like just go into the wiki and are like, all right, what kind of cars can I expect to be racing against here? There we go, 131 horsepower. That's not terrible. We're probably gonna use this for at least one or two of the 80 sports car races as well. See if maybe that'll give us another vehicle we can use in some of the one make events. Because that's the main thing we're focusing on right now. And the only two event series that we have left in the specialty events are the Historic Car Cup and the 80s Sports Car Cup. Yeah, the AI gets a little bit spicy in terms of their their interpretations of the rules. I do like the change in the sound though of the cars going to the racing exhaust. It is a nice little feature. Yeah, I know the early Gran Turismo games didn't exactly have the best sound design, but it was still really cool. Alright, we're on Rome Short. So again, a power track. And again, they have a little bit more power than us. Just a little bit. So you can only hope that, granted, I made a little bit of a mistake there. Alright, there we go. We get a little bit of a better run out of that corner. Come on, get into the slipstream. That's the thing as well, the slipstream in this game is really weak. In later Gran Turismo games, the slipstream effect is much more pronounced. Here, it's not that effective. In especially in Gran Turismo 4, though, the slipstream effect is very. Can you not dive me? Is not that powerful. Okay, we need a little bit more power. Welcome, Delian. Hope you're well. Right now, we are painfully struggling with the Mazda MX-5 one make race. I wasn't expecting this one to be the one that causes difficulty. I wasn't expecting this one to be the one that causes difficulty. But here we are. Alright, we already got the computer upgrade. NA tune-up, 150, 170. What's the power limits for some of the 80s sports car races? $345. Got it. What are my thoughts on the Gran Turismo movie or videos and making movies and video games in general? The Gran Turismo movie, I'm not the biggest fan of. It's kind of an over-dramatization of what was already an interesting story. So it's kind of... I'm not the biggest fan of that. We have a turbo upgrade instead. But movies of video games can be done well. You have things like your Detective Pikachu, and all of that stuff. So it's not like it's, you know, it's not like it's impossible for there to be, you know, good movies made of video games and everything. There are definitely some really solid ones out there. But you need to have basically fans of the source material really working on, or at least people that kind of understand the source material and what kind of story that source material tells as well. It's the same with the TV shows. Like, you had the Halo TV show that was absolutely dreadful. That was definitely made by people that never even played the games. But then you have, you know, the Fallout TV show, which actually was pretty solid and, you know, was fairly, like, it took a little bit of creative liberty here and there, but like, and it kind of added a little bit, or it took some, you know, a little bit of artistic license with the lore for, you know, the to have certain scenes, but it was still, you know, a very well-made TV show that still, you know, someone would look at that and be like, oh yeah, that's definitely Fallout. Heard they're making a Minecraft movie. Yeah. That's... I don't know why they can't just make an animated version of that. Like, you have Jack Black playing Jack Black as Steve, but it's just Jack Black in a blue sweater. Dude didn't even bother to shave for the movie. He's just, oh, hey guys, I'm Jack Black. You remember me in School of Rock, right? And Tenacious D? Well, here I am. It's like The Rock in all his movie roles as well. It's The Rock playing The Rock, as super secret agent muscle guy. Yeah. But then you have the Sonic movies, which are actually really nice. So, it depends. I was told some people in my country will wear black on Monday when we go back to school. Yeah. It's a nice gesture to do that. But yeah, the Minecraft movie, it's basically like full CGI with the exception of like the human characters. And it just doesn't look good. And especially like right now, Jack Black is kind of losing a little bit of the star power for a couple of different reasons. Some political stuff, which I don't want to get into, but also him in the Borderlands movie, as well as a bunch of the other characters in the Borderlands movie, was the Borderlands movie was not well received. You know, it was pretty dreadful. Granted, I've never played Borderlands because I can't really do first-person shooters, as they make me very motion sick. So I don't know a whole lot about the Borderlands lore and everything. So I can't really. I'm not one to really be able to comment much on that. But I had friends that play Borderlands quite a lot that I knew in college, and they said, "Oh yeah, the movie is absolutely terrible. Don't watch it." So I'm like, okay, I'll take your word for it, as they are like big on the lore and everything. It's like the superhero movies as well. Like, you need to have someone. You need to have people that kind of, you know, have a general understanding of how that superhero works, what their personality is like, and all that stuff, both for like the casting choices and everything else. That's why like the MCU works so well, is because a lot of those characters, well, one, a lot of the earlier Marvel movies were kind of made by, you know, a lot of the nerds that had read, or at least had an understanding of the comic books and the characters, and therefore were able to make the right, you know, casting choices and everything. And two, you had, you know, a lot of actors with like that great charisma and improv to really, you know, take home and bring home, you know, the role and everything. But even then, the actors alone won't make a good movie, because look at Ryan Reynolds in the Deadpool movies, and then look at Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool in like some of the Wolverine movies, and it's like a completely different character. Right, this one, we're about 100 horsepower down. Oh, the Dungeons and Dragons movie was actually really good. It's solid. You don't really need to know much of the lore to really understand it. Basically, it is a bit more of kind of a more generic fantasy-ish movie, but the actors and everything, like the actors and the writing are still pretty solid and make it enjoyable. Uncharted maybe wasn't bad, although Tom Holland, I don't know, he doesn't really pull off the Nathan Drake as much. Maybe I'm just so used to hearing Nolan North in my playthroughs of like the Uncharted games that like it feels weird to have Tom Holland, as Tom Holland could have pulled off like young Nathan Drake fairly well actually, but like you know, actual like aged up, you know, late 20s Nathan Drake, I'm not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure. It was still a solid movie. It was still an enjoyable experience. But it's one of those things where it's like, I'm not exactly sure about the casting choices for that one. Like, don't get me wrong, I quite like Tom Holland. But again, he doesn't really pull off like a modern Nathan Drake as well. Ooh, okay, we got a little tap on the wall there. That slowed us down. That killed some of our momentum. Yeah, that the Nissan Z with its inline 6 is gonna be right on our tail at the end of this straight. Got a couple cars chasing us down. The RX-7 as well. Oh, okay, you're trying to squeeze me. Yeah, you completely took away my line there. Oh, we have the full pack behind us. We've got a Celica GT4 Rally Legend, the street version of that anyway. Wonder if they do a Cyberpunk live action movie with Keanu Reeves. That'd be interesting, although I can't imagine them doing it anything other than like an R-rated movie, just with how violent and risque the Cyberpunk 2077 and even the tabletop Cyberpunk 2020 you know, environment is. They did however make an anime series for Cyberpunk set a year before the events of the game called Cyberpunk Edge Runners, and that was really good. The fact that they even used music from the game in the anime was a really smart decision, because it recontextualizes a lot of those songs that you get used to hearing on the radio in that game. And I will say though, for all its flaws, Cyberpunk 2077 had an absolutely amazing soundtrack. Everything from like the original songs to some of the licensed music was really, really good. It was super awesome. Having the punk band Refused basically doing, creating original songs as an in-game band Samurai was really awesome. You had things like Run the Jewels for some of like, you know, the electronic hip-hop and rap and everything. You have Grimes with her pop stuff, as well as voicing Lizzie Wizzy as well, one of the in-game pop singers. Is pretty cool. Like the music was generally like one of the best things about that game. I still listen to the soundtrack, even though I haven't played the game in a little while. Yeah, the Need for Speed movie was just, it kind of felt like a discount Fast and the Furious movie. It was, eh. Yeah, it was a little cheesy. Oh, the Gran Turismo soundtrack is amazing. I know, it's a shame I can't play it as well. because of licensing issues, so I have to use the, oh, that RX-7's gonna catch us. Mazda versus Mazda. Wait, is that the Mazda? It's hard to tell. No, it's a Skyline. It's a Skyline. Still, right on our tail. 2/10 of a second heading down the home straight. My word. It's 7 grand there. And a new car. Let's make sure we save. Save often, save frequently in these games, as sometimes the emulator does crash just a little bit. Oh my word. That was a close battle. We had the low speed and the cornering maneuverability, but down that home straight with it being fairly long, those inline 6 powered 80s sports cars were rapidly gaining on us. Oh my word. That was spicy. That was real spicy. I want to see what car we got from that. We might be able to get a little bit more of the 80s races done, especially if the car we get is another really good one. Nugent CRX? That's not even an 80s car! I love the Del Sol, but that's not even an 80s car! Why would I do an event for 80s cars and not get an 80s car for the Gran Turismo? I know you want to showcase all the new tuning manufacturers that you've made partnerships with and everything, but this would have been a cool car for like the front wheel drive races, or like a Honda one make race or something like that. Speaking of which, why is there no CRX one make race in this game? Come on, Polyphony. But I mean, it's a beautiful car. I love the Del Sol. The Del Sol is an absolutely beautiful vehicle. I saw one for sale for like 10 grand back when I was in college. Beautiful 90s kind of metallic mint green color as well. Absolutely perfectly kept, garage kept, looked amazing, right? And it's, unfortunately, you know, as a broke college student, you're like, even if I could afford this, I have no place to keep this. I have no means of properly maintaining this. The car is gonna fall into disrepair. It's a shame. I love the CRX, both the 80s, the 80s to early 90s CRX, and then the Del Sol as well. Beautiful vehicles. Shows you can make, you know, a sportier vehicle still on the Civic running gear. A little bit of understeer through turn 1. Alright, we're lighter than the Iron Mask Skyline. Not a GTR, it's only rear wheel drive, but it's still got a solid amount of performance. And that one as well, that generation of Skyline. Very, very quick in a lot of the Group 5 racing during the 80s. With the wide fender flares and the front and rear spoilers. Absolutely massive. Beautiful machine. We got the Toyota AW11 MR2 in front as well. Lightweight, solid amount of power from that inline 4, mid-engined. Although just a little bit prone to trying to murder you in the wet. Oh, it's a solid duel down the back straight. We do have downforce though. Runner on the outside of the Supra. Is that the Supra? No, that's the RX-7. Oh yes, this thing with the downforce of the racing modifications. It's not a lot of downforce, as you can see, but it's enough to really give us that grip bonus compared to some of these other vehicles. Ooh, okay, they have a little more power than us out of the corner. Trying to see what car that is. Whoa. Car got a little bit bent out of shape going over the crest. What is that in front of us? It's hard to tell because of the, I will admit the PS1 graphics haven't quite aged as well as the PS2 era of the Gran Turismo games. It's still really fun games to play. But sometimes you're like, okay, what is that actually supposed to be? When I have a 6 feet tall, but like the tiny cars like the Miata, the Bug-Eyed Sprite, the Ailys, yes. They're just really nice vehicles because you have that lightweight performance. Alright, cut down in the inside. Ooh. Oh, it's the... Is that a Lancia Delta? What is that? Oh, well, it doesn't matter. It's behind us now. We got one more lap. After this straightaway. Into the sunset. Oh, yeah, but no, I love my lightweight little roadsters. They're just so much fun to watch. And as well, they have the, you see them a lot in, like, the SCCA F production races as well. If you ever get the chance, even if you can only find, like, onboards on the YouTube, F production races by the SCCA are some of the coolest, racing because you get basically everything from your Austin Healey's to your Triumph Spitfires, your MGs, your Miatas, but they've been turned into, they basically had their windshield and roof removed and turned into roadsters with the roll cage. And they are so cool. Shit, the 7,000 RPM for better performance. Alright, I'll take your word for it. I know usually the Mazdas like to be revved out a little bit, but I'll take your word for it. Yeah, unfortunately in these vehicles we don't really have the shift lights. So it's basically a lot of times... I think RX-7 when it first came out. Yes! The FB and the FC generation were absolutely beautiful vehicles. And even the FD as well. Unfortunately, us Americans didn't get some of the best versions of the FD RX-7s. We never got like the Spirit R or the ones that made the 280 horsepower. The fastest ones in the States were around like 250 horsepower because we only got the earlier RX-7s for the FD generation. But oh, they are all just absolutely beautiful. I love those cars. There's just so many good Japanese cars from like the 80s and 90s. The downside is most of them are running on OBD1, which is, shall we say, finicky and very difficult to work on. There was some where it's, okay, turn the key and put the key in the ignition, turn it to accessories. Okay, now open and close the driver's door 3 times. Okay, now take the key out of the ignition. Now open the passenger door. Now put the key back in the ignition. Okay, now the check engine light is going to blink in a pattern. That pattern is going to be the code for the trouble code. And I can't imagine being a mechanic during that time period going, excuse me, what the heck? What is this? What is this, right? It's kinda silly. Cool, we got a Mugen Civic instead. That's also not an 80s car. Game! Oh, the 280Z. The 280Z and the 300Z, the Z32 was really nice. The 280Z was also really nice with the 2.8 liter inline 6. And thankfully the earlier versions of that one, you can get them without the, without a lot of the computer stuff in them, so they're a little bit more, you know, mechanically based. On the other hand, though, they are very, very prone to rusting. So prone to rusting, holy moly. There was so many, they did not use a good steel. They did not use a good steel for those Zs. Okay, so we have the March Cup and we have the Pulsar Cup. So let's go into the used car dealership. Let's see what kind of vehicles we have. Sylvia's, got the March. I like the March. The March is good. Oh, we have the GTI R Pulsar as well, the four-wheel drive Pulsar. Okay, so we basically have both of them. Oh, we got the Datsun 240Z as well. Unfortunately, no real use for the Z right now. what else do we have? Let's use the GTIR. This thing, 4-wheel drive, turbocharged inline 4. This thing is a super underrated hot hatch. Absolutely love it. It's used a lot in a lot of like the grassroots rally racing as well because it was a smaller displacement 4-wheel drive machine. It was really nice. It's a shame we never got this in the States either. I think honestly this would have sold pretty well. Especially when you look at other hot hatches at the time, like, you know, your Dodge Omni GLHS, or your Volkswagen Golf GTIs and everything. Like, this would have blown them out of the water. Yeah, the Pulsar is such a great vehicle. The downside is the Pulsar event. The Pulsar event doesn't have any racing modification versions. Only the street car. But this will be a solid choice. Alright, gotta sneak up the inside here, going to the next chicane. Yeah, nowadays they're a lot more expensive, but back then, back when they were first new, they were used a lot in like the grassroots motorsport and everything. And thankfully they cheapened Gran Turismo too. Also, welcome Red Phoenix, hope you're doing well today. How are ya? Down in the second gear for the hairpin. It's a shame that nowadays Seattle circuit wouldn't be able to be recreated. The chicane section there's a stadium there now. But it's cool that they used, if you go back in time to when this game was released, if you go to Google Maps, this track, as well as Rome Circuit, you can actually trace the real life roads and recreate the circuits in Google Maps, which is super cool. And even nowadays, you can recreate Tokyo Route 246 as well. At the 78 Chevy Monza, that was fun. This is a unibody like the Mustang too. Yeah, lightweight little inline 4-cylinder vehicle during the gas crisis. There was even a Cosworth tuned one that's a little bit rare nowadays, but that one was basically like the performance variant. And that one wasn't that one was a little bit spicy as well. That one was pretty solid for a vehicle made at the height of the gas crisis and everything. It had a decent amount of power to it. Unfortunately, never used in any professional level of motorsport, to my knowledge anyway. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. But nowadays, you see a lot of the 70s US chassis cars, even the unibody ones, being tubbed out and with a V8 swapped in them for drag racing because of their lighter weight. They were a lot lighter weight than a lot of the vehicles from like the 60s and early 70s. Had the louvers on the back and the side windows, the nice. Yeah, that was the style at the time as well. Everyone had to know what brand of tires you have. Nowadays, you have the solid black walls. Although the tire lettering is coming back in certain scenes, primarily more so in the tuning scene with a lot of like the stance vehicles with the stretch tires. People will go back over and paint them themselves. The game working the Chiefs up 13. Oh no. Come on, Ravens. Go home, team. Crab gang for the win. Whoa, okay, understeer. Four-wheel drive moment. Four-wheel drive moment. Little bit of understeer as the vehicle got light over the crest. Okay, we have a little bit of a gap, but they are going to be gaining on us on the straight. Come on, come on. I guess so is in GBA as well. I'm curious how they do that. Is the game still a 2D? Because from what my understanding, the Game Boy didn't have the processing power to really actually have 3D graphics. It was only 2D graphics, which is why even like a lot of the racing games, it was kind of like your Super Nintendo, where it was, you know, basically the vehicle flat on the screen and the world kind of moved under the vehicle instead of the vehicle moving within the world. Or it was like an isometric perspective. For example, the Hot Wheels Velocity X game, or a top-down game like the Midnight Club. Oh gosh, the Midnight Club game was genuinely dreadful on the GBA. It was great for the PS2. I actually still genuinely have fun experience playing Midnight Club 1 on the PS2. But the yeah, the GBA Midnight Club is pretty rough. Aggressive, really throwing a cheese and calling everything on the Ravens. Oh no. Taylor be giving them the stink eye. Oh, look at that. The March Super 108 horsepower. Wait, what displacement is this? I don't want that as much. Where, let me puncture like a model. It's a 930cc engine. It's not even a liter engine, and it's making 108 horsepower. Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that. Aaron just missed the field. Bruh. To be fair, this is the Ravens. This is the Ravens. That sounds about right for the Ravens. Oh, we have the high performance version of the March. The March are super cool. This car, especially in Tokyo Extreme Racer Drift, is an absolute beast because it has a lot of power and is super lightweight, and it's got the rally tune suspension as well. Oh, everyone else has it as well. Cool. Did something bad happen to the Chiefs next quarter? Yeah, 100-yard penalty. Can't believe Justin Tucker missed that. I guess he's a bit tuckered out. That was terrible, Isaac. That was terrible, Isaac. I know. I'm bad. Alright, come on. Try to sneak through the middle, 3 wide into this turn. Oh, it's pack racing and these little sub-liter compact cars. Managed to get a little bit of grip going to that corner. See more than a killer. I don't know. I don't want any injuries. I don't like when people get injured, because that could be people's, you know, entire livelihoods, careers, you know, ruined from that. Like that's always the thing I worry about. Like even if there's like drivers that I don't like, I don't want to see them injured. Like I'll be fully honest. I'm not a biggest fan of Roman Grosjean. Dude is a bit over aggressive. But, like, I was super worried for him in the 2020 Bahrain Grand Prix, where he hit the wall there and his car burst into flames. I'm super glad he got away with that with only minimal injuries. And I'm glad he's finding a solid career for himself in IndyCar, because holy cow, that was a terrifying wreck. I do wish he would be a bit cleaner of a driver and not going, oh, it's a heavy braking zone? Time to send it up the inside. But other than that, you know, he seems like a nice guy. It just seems like one that'd also be very frustrating to race against. Because I've raced against people in the sim that have that same driving style, and as soon as they get within like a second of you, you're like, oh, they're gonna go for a gap that's never gonna exist, aren't they? Do I let them go and concede the position, or do I hold my line and get taken out? Oh, all right, come on. Gotta remember, this thing doesn't have a whole lot of low-end oomph. So I gotta really make sure I rev out the engine just a little bit. No! Are you kidding me? Yeah, the one-make races are a pain. That was due to a driver error, though. I think, honestly, I don't think we need to upgrade the car. I think I can do $500. $500. Are you 500 tons? Bruh. That is a pittance. That is a pittance. I mean, we're gonna need to upgrade the car eventually, but I think I can do it without any upgrades. I think I can do it without any upgrades. I hope. Alright, it's Deep Forest Raceway again. Try to aim around 6,500 RPMs as a shift point. You want to maximize the amount of power you can get out of this engine because it's so low on the displacement. And you want to make sure you keep your revs as high as possible as well. Because the engine, if you look at the dyno sheet for this, it's only got about 100 horsepower, but for the lightweightness of the vehicle, it's still quite sporty. Alright, come on, sneak down the inside. There we go. Come on. Push. Alright, I got you on my inside. I see you. I'm gonna stick right behind you again, going through this corner. Try to hug the inside. I missed the pick. Alright. Now they're gonna be right on our rear. We got two March G Sharps behind us. Those things are lightly modified, around 90 horsepower, so a little bit less power than us. But they're also, I believe, a little bit lighter as they are one generation newer. So it basically comes down to power versus weight. And slingshot around them. Use every little bit of the track. I used the D to play Gran Turismo a lot as a kid. Yes. I played it a lot. I played a decent amount as a kid, but I mainly played the PS2 versions. It was mainly during my college years that I really began to kind of appreciate the older Gran Turismo 1 and Gran Turismo 2. Just because, again, when you're you have to kind of work on, like, you know, do a lot more of the shorter stints of gaming, you know, between projects and everything. And you have you know, a laptop that's okay-ish, but like not really, you know, good for, like, you know, the modern gaming. Running like an old PS1 emulator on it was super easy. Back with the game is the lightweight car. Yeah, it's good in the corners, but you gotta be careful though, because in the straights, power is key. And there's only so much you can lighten the vehicle as well. Especially for the racing modification version of the manufacturer's cups. Because all the other opponents are also, you know, at the max lightness. Oh, I hear you. Yeah, you're gaining on us. Ooh. That corner was never yours. That's fine. We managed to stay ahead. Managed to stay ahead. Curbing on the inside. Curbing on the outside. Use every little bit of track on this exit. Holy moly. There we go. Cross the line. That was a good run. That was a close race as well. Yeah, the two G Sharps. Those things gave us a good run for our money. Bravo to the G-sharps. Yeah, let's make sure we save our game. Let's get this thing up to its racing modification version as well. Hopefully, hopefully the racing modification race will put us on a good track and not, you know, because the track is always randomized, so sometimes you end up with stuff like, you know, Mazda AZ1s at Rome Circuit, or, you know, your Mazda Demios at test course. The thing about GT2 with GT1 is you can buy European cars. Yeah, there's a lot more European cars in this version. I think only in GT1, it was primarily mostly your British cars, your TVRs, and that stuff. Mazda Demio. Yeah, unfortunately or fortunately, we've already done the Demio race. We've completed all the Mazda 1-make races. Now we're going through trying to complete all the Nissan 1-make races. I want to try to get at least all the Japanese 1-make races completed for this stream, or at least get a solid amount of them done. Only one color for this one. I do like being able to perform the racing modifications for these cars, though. They look so cool with the racing liveries and sometimes the added aero components, like the front and rear spoilers, or you occasionally get a little bit of the fender flares and everything. That is always super cool. The downside is they're just super expensive. Thankfully, there's a really we have the vehicles needed to make some really easy money. Get 500 grand in like a couple of minutes with the one Gran Turismo All-Stars race. You do that, you get 50 grand, and you also get a the TVR Cerberus B12, which you can sell for $500,000, which is one of the most expensive vehicles you can sell in the game. I just realized we're back at Deep Forest. I think GT2 could have been even better, but they rushed it for Christmas. Yeah, that's why there's a bug. There's a bug in the game where you can't actually 100% this game because they removed the drag racing from this game, but it still counts towards the completion. So there's a couple of drag racing events that you can't beat because you can't access the menu for them. Anyways, in LEGO Star Wars GBA. Oh gosh. That's a long message. Final level had episode 1 of Obi-Wan fighting episode 2 Anakin on Mustafar while Duel of the Fates plays in the background. Oh gosh, and it's probably like a chiptune version of Duel of the Fates as well. Oh man, it's close pack racing. This is like proper SCCA B-spec racing right here, where you have the little tiny cars like your Volkswagen, your first generation Golf GTIs, or your Chevy Sonics, or your little Mazda 2s and all that stuff stripped down and with racing modifications. This is very similar to those types of races. Little sub 100 horsepower front wheel drive cars just duking it out. Oh man, they have a lot more straight line speed than us though. Oh, I seen a Minecraft movie. Fun fact, we were talking about that about 30 minutes ago. Yes, we have, and it's not good. I don't think it's that good. I mean, time will tell if the movie actually is better than what the teaser showcased, but the trailer did not endear anyone to it. Yeah, those two discs. So you had the simulation mode on one disc, and you had the arcade mode on the other disc. Fun fact as well, Gran Turismo 4, in order to be prevented from being put on 2 discs as well, they had to use what's known as a dual layer disc, which on one hand is an absolutely genius way of data storage at the time. On the other hand, made it one of the most difficult games to emulate. And there's a couple other games that are also on dual storage discs. Holy cow, come on! Bruh! Top 4 within 0.3 of a second. Yeah, the GTO and the Skyline were really powerful in the first game. You can upgrade them to around 900 horsepower. They were very quick. I used the GTO. No, I used the Skyline. Was it the GTO? Oh, it was one of those for the Hard Tune Cars Cup. It may have been the GTO. I think it was the GTO. I remember it was one of those two because it had like the absolutely crazy turbo lag out of the low speed corners where it just bogged down. And all of a sudden, then the car was like, oh, you're past 3,000. Oh, yeah, you passed 4,000 RPMs? Okay, now I'm gonna give you power. Now I'm gonna give you power. Like, holy cow, those things were terrifying. Those things were terrifying to drive. Half team 1510. Ooh, that's close. That's close. That's very close. Alright, let's see if there's another Japanese one make race that'll use some 80s cars. I wanna try to get some other 80s vehicles for use in that NSX trophy, but that's 90s cars. Got beat the beat that. Ball, Cheese hit the. That's a rip. That's a rip. Cheese get the ball. Got a Type R meeting. Yeah, we've beaten that one. We still need the racing version of the S2000 in a Civic race. Oh yeah, the two-player battle as well, but that was only arcade mode. And the tracks are limited to, I think, only 3 tracks at the time. You had Tahiti Road. You had oh gosh, what else? Tahiti Road. High Speed Ring. And one other one. What was that one? I believe it was the what was it? What was it? Grand Valley? No. What was the other one? Midfield. It was Midfield Raceway. Right. Midfield Raceway. Those are the 3 tracks you could race on. Alright, so we haven't got any good 80s cars, and a lot of these are going to require more modern machinery. So let's try to upgrade our Miata just a little bit more. Try to upgrade our Miata just a little bit more. Let's get the clutch. Get the twin plate clutch here. And let's see, the drive shaft. Yep, carbon drive shafts. Try to basically reduce the weight and the parasitic drag on our drivetrain components. Yeah, we don't want a limited slip because those things are a pain in the butt. Those things are a pain in the butt. I want a semi-racing flywheel. And let's get that close ratio transmission as we'll get a higher, even closer than the yeah, let's get the sports transmission. Get a little bit closer gears, because we're not maxing out. We're not really reaching our top speed, right? So this will allow us to compete in some of the 80s car races. Let's see here. Got Seattle, so a tight technical street circuit. And you got Tahiti Road. Tahiti Road, I think, is going to be one of the tougher ones. So I want to try that first, because I want to struggle. I want to struggle. Granted, we do have the racing modifications, and Tahiti Road has a lot of the high-speed corners. So the downforce from the racing modifications will help us in comparison to some of the standard 80s cars. Alright, so we have the Celica, we have the March. Yes, okay, the transmission upgrade. Oh, this feels good. This feels good to drive. Much closer gear ratios, much more acceleration. This feels really good to drive. Okay, a little bit sideways there. Alright, I got an S13 Sylvia just up ahead. Another inline 4 created by Nissan. Little inline 4 turbocharged SR20 series engine. 2 liters versus our, I believe, 1.6 liter inline 4. So it'll be a close battle for sure. We had the racing modifications. We have a little bit more of that aerodynamic downforce for the corners, but they're gonna have a little bit more low-end grunt out of some of these corners. It'll be a close race. Oh, okay, so we are maxing out here. 130 miles an hour, basically. Man, I'd love to see a modern recreation of Tahiti Road as well, or at least one of the Tahiti tracks. Like the most up-to-date version of a Tahiti track is Tahiti Maze of Gran Turismo 4. It just needs a car wash. Yeah. It's weird in Gran Turismo 2. You don't really see the You don't really see the cars get dirty that much, so there's not as much use of the car wash as it is in Gran Turismo 3. Yeah, it's got the Sylvia's got the 2-liter inline 4, the SR20 engine. You want to swap a V10. A V10 and a Miata would be death, I think. I wouldn't mind seeing a more modern inline 4 in like an NA Miata, like the Honda F-Series 2-liter inline 4. Or even like a rotary, like the 13B would be pretty cool to see. But I don't know, I think having larger engines in them kind of changes the characteristics of the Miata a little bit too much. Like, I know, yes, you can swap an LS into the Miata, and it will fit. And it'll technically be lighter if you use the aluminum block LS, because the LS is an aluminum block, and the inline 4 from the NA Miata, I believe, is still an iron block. But I don't know. I kind of like the little inline 4s or having like a rotary in them. that would be a lot cooler. Okay, a little bit of understeer there. Alright, nice and smooth. Okay, a little bit of a jump. You know what's funny is in some games, actually the lower displacement engine is actually the better one to use. For example, in Tokyo Extreme Racer 3, for the engine swappability for most vehicles, believe it or not, the inline 4 is actually the best one to use because the inline 4 is so lightweight. So you're only losing about like 30 to 40 horsepower compared to the turbocharged V8, which is the most powerful version of the engine swaps in the game. But because the inline 4 is a lot lighter, you get a much better power to weight ratio, so you get that better acceleration. Which is why the inline 4 swap for some of the higher powered cars as one of the few engine swaps that can actually get to the cap of the 230 mile per hour top speed limit of the game. That is the fastest you can go in the game before the game actually limits your speed. The inline 6, the turbocharged inline 6 can also get pretty close for some vehicles, but that one is a little bit heavier. That one is a little bit heavier and does affect your handling in some vehicles, although it is a direct upgrade for things like the Nissan Zs or the Skyline or even the Supra. Another fun thing to do in Tokyo Extreme Racer 3 is once you, if you know how to manipulate the save file for the emulated version, is get a little Japanese K car like the Suzuki Cappuccino or another lightweight vehicle like your Toyota AE86 or your Mazda Miata, and modify the mileage to the point where you can get the engine swap, and then swap in the rotary. And those things absolutely tear up pretty much any course with a lot of corners. So for example, the Yokohama or the Shinkanjo or the C1 loop, it'll absolutely dominate there, with the only weakness being the Wangan sections, where you're only going in a straight line. But yeah, that is super fun too. It's a shame that the engine swaps require you to have like 2,000 miles on the car before you can do that, because that takes so long. And for some of the vehicles in the game, their base engine, even when fully upgraded, is pretty terrible. For example, the Pontiac Firebird in Tokyo Extreme Racer 3. The Pontiac Firebird in Tokyo Extreme Racer 3 is you think, oh, it will come with either the 305 or the 350 cubic inch, that's 5 liter or 5.7 liter V8. No. You want to know what engine the third generation Firebird comes with in Tokyo Extreme Racer 3? You want to know what engine it comes with? The absolute muscle car of the Firebird. It comes with the Iron Duke Inline 4. The same engine that they use on the mail trucks. As well as like the early Pontiac Fieros that caught fire. You know, the sub 100 horsepower, iron block, super heavy, super sluggish, Iron Duke engine. That was the engine. That was the version of the... Really? You kidding me? That was the version they used. That was the version they used in the game. Like, if there was the V8 version, it would be a lot more viable. Because there are other American muscle cars in the game, and they come in their V8 versions. Like, you don't see the inline 6 version of the first generation Mustang. No, it's the V8. It's the V8 version. It's the Mach 1. The Corvette comes in its, you know, fairly high-powered version. The C5 Corvette comes in the Z06 variant. Nah, but the Firebird, of all the engine choices it has, they put in the version of with the inline Duke. Gremlin South, the 232, yeah, the Slant 6 engine, the Jeep engine. Yeah, very reliable little, very reliable engine, heavy engine though. And in the fuel economy wars during the 70s, it did lose out compared to some of the inline 4 variants of some of the other big threes that were produced. But it was a very reliable engine. Come on. Okay, up in a second. It is the final lap. Oh, come on. We're too close now. We need to push. I don't know how that little square body hatchback is able to out accelerate us on the straights. No, we gotta get by it, and we gotta get by it now. Get up on the inside. Alright, we psyched them out. Oh, but it has that acceleration advantage. Come on. Through the chicane. Hug the inside. Okay, they took a wider line. Way too close. Holy moly. Way too close. Oh, my word. Wow. How is that one? How is that one tougher than the Tahiti Road version? We get paid less for this one. Oh my word. The Starlets and the March. They had some serious power, some serious straight line speed. What the heck? Holy moly. Alright, let's see what cars we won from this. Hopefully we actually got some 80s cars. Or if not, we at least got some, other vehicles we can use in some one-make races. Oh my word. Alright, let's see. Hello? Speak of the devil! The Skyline, the Iron Mask Skyline Group 5 race car. We got it! Oh my word. Yes. 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 I want to drive this. We also got an Integra Type R, the Mugen Integra Type R. Cool aero kits, but again, there's not much use for them. There's only so many 200 horsepower front-wheel drive cars you can get that are useful. All right, Gran Turismo All-Stars at Red Rock Valley in the Group 5 Skyline. Yes. Yes. Oh my word. Okay. This is the real money making trick. This is how you get money in late game Gran Turismo. Oh. Chat, we may be a little bit boned. We have the Toyota GT1 and the Nissan R390 GT1 race cars. Those cars competed, basically, those cars were the creme of the creme. The top line cars in Group GT1 racing at Le Mans. Those vehicles basically was some of the fastest race cars produced when this game came out. Short of a Formula 1 car. Oh, the Skyline understeers a little bit. Like, we had the power. Come on, we gotta catch up to that Elise Group GT1. Yes, even Lotus made an Elise GT1 race car for competition in Le Mans. Well, on paper it was a very quick vehicle. It did not do too well in actual competition. But it looked so cool. It was essentially a massive wide body Lotus Elise. That was lengthened as well. And it was really cool looking. It basically was an Elise in name only. It was closer probably to the Esprit in terms of its mechanical capabilities. Yeah, the Lotus GT1. So cool. It's a shame Lotus, during the 90s and even up through the 2000s, just did not do well in motorsports. Because their road-going cars at the time were really, really cool. But yeah, their motorsport division kind of struggled a little bit. Honestly, Lotus in general struggled a lot after Colin Chapman died. That's why you have a little bit of redundancy built into your leadership system, and that's why you kind of make sure you groom people up to be your successors. Because after Colin Chapman died, it was a slow but steady decline for Lotus. And it was very, very rough. Now they're owned by a Malaysian, or is it a Chinese company now? I'm trying to remember. A lot of British car companies aren't even British anymore. I think Lotus is owned by a Chinese company now. And you have vehicles like the Avija? I don't know how to pronounce it. Which is, you know, kind of their modern sports car. A little bit heavier than what you'd want out of a Lotus, but a little bit more power as well. It's competing, you even have a racing division starting back up for Lotus. And they're creating customer cars for competition in GT4 class racing series. Right now you have a couple of Lotuses in the British GT Championship in the GT4 class. And from what I gather, they're doing fairly well. So here's hoping that maybe we eventually get some Lotus GT4s here in the States for like IMSA or the some of the SRO series GT America races. Cause that would be really cool to see. Come on, a little bit of understeer. Gotta be a little bit careful. Red Rock Valley is such a cool track as well. It's basically like two ovals that have been interlinked together and turned into a road course. And it's just so high speed. Like, you have a very high average speed. Like, I don't think there's any point in the track in most of the higher end race cars. Or, okay, only here really. But every other part of the track, you're above 100 miles an hour. Which is really cool. Alright, one more lap to go. And then we can get a little bit of extra money where we can maybe get the vehicle we need for the, one of the, lovely, historic car cup races. Alright, easy. Easy there, Isaac. Keep it under control. There we go. There we go. Nice and steady. No errors. I'm surprised that the three GT1 class cars aren't right up there with us. I'm genuinely surprised. I was expecting them to be a little bit more competitive. They gave us a good fight the first couple of laps, but now they're way back there. Oh, but this is such a cool vehicle. The Group 5 cars in general were absolutely amazing. You had everything from your Nissan Skylines and your Nissan Silvias as well, to your BMW 3 liters, your CSLs. Basically, the Batmobile is what it was called because of the massive rear wing on it. You had even a C3 Corvette in Group 5 racing. That was a privateer entry, a works privateer entry. And that one was really cool. What other Group 5 cars were there? It was a lot. There was so many good ones. And they all had, you know, the crazy wide fender flares. Of course, you had the Porsche, a couple different Porsches, I think, actually. Like at the 935, I think it was. And Porsche, as usual, getting a little bit sneaky with the rules, but really, really creative. Wait, no, I don't want to get in. I don't want to get in. I want to sell. There we go. Alright, let's go up to North City. Yeah, Mini and MG. Now, what events are there? Got the Mini Challenge with the MGF Challenge. Alright, so there's a special car. Yes! The Rover Cooper. Now you might think, only 73 horsepower. Just trust me on this one. There's a reason I spent over $500,000 on this car, alright? I want to make sure as well. It instead has 239. Yeah, there was an error in typing in the horsepower for this car. So this thing, this thing is an absolute beast, and is one of the few cars that can take it to the Ford GT40. It's still a tough race. It is still a tough battle. But it is a very fast machine. Oh gosh. And you can see the difference right here. Just blowing them out of the water. Bye-bye. You ever see an old historic Mini Cooper go 120 miles an hour? Track battle best mode. Unfortunately, I've never got a chance to watch much of best motoring. Mainly because I don't speak Nihongo. I don't speak Japanese. So it's one of those things where I'm like, okay, it's cool seeing the cars go around the track, but I don't fully know what's happening. That's why it's difficult as well to watch things like Super Formula and Super GT. Because as cool as the cars are, finding good English broadcasts of those races is so difficult. Holy cow, 140 miles an hour in a Mini. That would be terrifying IRL. Like, look at the distance. Look at the distance. Wow. He's going for distance. He's going for speed. I do love the old Minis as well. It's one thing I wish we got in the States was a Mini Miglia races. They have those in the UK. And oh my gosh, those are so cool to watch. Thankfully, they're English broadcasts for those. And they're usually like a support series for like BTCC. So you usually get pretty good English broadcasts as well. And yeah. Really nice. Really cool. So that was easy. Get $5 grand back. We got 1% of what we spent on the car. But it'll be worth it to really show off against the Ford GT40. Which, I mean, come on, it's a cheatsy car. it's above the power limit on a power heavy course that is freaking Rome circuit. You know, it's. I'll show you guys because there's a high chance it'll be there. It's a high chance it'll be there. All right, let's start our race. Manual transmission. Is it there? Is the cheater there? Is it? Is it? Oh. Oh, he's starting on first too. The cheater is there. Yeah. And you see, like, everyone else is way back there. And you just look at the Ford GT40, right? And that thing... That thing is an absolute beast. Like, it struggles a little bit on the cornering because the mid-engine, it is a bit rear heavy. So it does understeer and the brakes aren't that great. Oh gosh. Our brakes aren't that great either. But, like... Okay, they were 2 seconds behind. We need to gain time. And fast. Thankfully, through the chicane section here, we gain a lot of time on our opponents. They do not take a good line through there. We gain almost an entire second. You gain even more time here. There we go, right up on the Ford GT. Yeah, there you are, Mr. Cheater. I see you. Only 7/10 behind. Final lap, let's push. Can we do it on our first try, chat? Come on. Right up there. Get into it, slipstream again. What little it'll help us. It'll help us. Oh, come on. Lost a little bit of time there. We gotta make it back. Mr. Bean. Yeah, Mr. Bean upgraded his rival from a Reliant Robin to the Ford GT. Oh, come on. We're sticking with it. Ah! You're kidding me. Oh, if we had one more lap. If we had one more lap, we would have been able to beat it. Ah! That's disappointing. That is so disappointing. Oh, man. Okay, let's try that again. Let's try that again. Okay, if we hadn't messed up our braking on a couple of those corners, we may have been able to get by it. That was tough. That was so tough. This race always gives me difficulty. Alright, Ford... we got the cheatsy Ford GT again. Come on. You see just how much of a launch it gets compared to everyone else as well. Come on. Maximize our speed through the corners. Alright, we should be almost within a second. Almost within a second. There we go, a little bit closer. Come a little bit closer now. Yeah, within a second. Use the throttle to pull us out of the corner. Come on, right there with him. Right there with that cheatsy. Right there with that cheatsy punk. 6/10. Alright, we're a little bit closer than we were last time. Use as much of the track as possible. Again, 6/10. Oh, come on, we're right there. We got the suck. Give us the suck. Oh. Oh, back a second behind. Come on. 7/10, that's not gonna be enough unless we absolutely dive him. Oh, you're kidding me. Oh, the cheatsy. Okay, let's see. We need a little bit more front end bite. We need front end bite. Let's adjust our gear ratios as well. We should be able to do that. Settings. Alright, spring rate, rear. Bring this up some. Ride height, lower a little bit in front, lower a little bit in the rear. Alright, damper was stiffening up the rear just a little bit. Little bit of, oh gosh. Is negative toe out or is negative toe in this one? Alright, gear ratio. Let's get 2 clicks towards acceleration. Let's lower the rear downforce just a couple clicks for more top speed. And yes. Okay. Let's do this. Let's do this. This will give us a little bit more turn in. This will give us a little bit more front end bite. Oh, there's the GT. There's the Ford GT again. It's like it's a guaranteed car. Alright, we stiffen the rear up a little bit, so that'll help with the turn in. We'll also reduce the rear downforce a bit, so again, it'll help with the turn in. We'll also get some higher speeds on the straights because of the less downforce. Car already feels a lot better to drive. Just goes to show the difference the setup makes. Oh, you missed a curb there. We're losing less time to the GT down the straights. We're still losing time, but not as much. And again, with its tighter turning, we're able to take these corners just a little bit faster. Oh, the hit on the wall is gonna hurt us. 9/10. Oh, come on. We're gaining here, though. Come on, big push, big push. 6/10. Oh, come on. Five tenths. We're a little bit closer. Oh, come on, that didn't even throw him off his line. You're kidding me. This game. The 4GT. Okay. So it's an improvement, but we need to work on a few things. Okay, ride height. Lower this some more. Camber in the front. A little bit more there. A little bit more rear spring rate to get that rotation. One more towards acceleration. We're not maxing it out. So we can get a little bit more acceleration for once we get going. We'll get a little bit more wheel spin at the start, which will give us a slightly worse start. But it'll give us more acceleration out of the turns. And also we'll get stronger engine braking. The 4GT wouldn't be so bad if it didn't start in like the front row every single time. Come on. Yeah, 1.5, I see you. Come on. Break at the 100-meter board. There we go. A little bit of understeer there. Come on. Let's get up there with it. Let's get up there with it. We were close. Oh, we're less close now, though. Those two corners hurt us. Ah, that understeer. Oh, we're not gonna be able to make it. The Ford GT is a pain. Literally everything else we're beating by like a mile. Oh, hang on, hang on. Get dunked on, kid. No. No! Holy mother of all that is holy. When third place finishes 6 seconds behind, but second place is within a tenth of you. Well, almost a tenth. What was that? What was that, Polyphony? Holy jeez. Ah, the power of Mr. Bean. Oh my word. That was so tough. That was so tough. What the hell? Oh my word. Oh my word. Alright, we got time for 2 more races, I think. Yeah, we got time for 2 more races. Wow! That was crazy. The rest of them aren't gonna be nearly that difficult. I've got Tahiti Road, which I think, you know, we're gonna kind of curb stomp in the mini. We're gonna curb stomp in the mini. And then we have the Grindelwald race, which is going to be a little bit difficult, but not that difficult. Like this, you have a highly tuned Fiat 500. Sorry about that, I had to sneeze. No VTuber sneeze compilation here. My sneezes are not cute. So I think this might be a little bit overkill. What's overkill for 1 level lower of race barely beats the next level up. What is this game sometimes, man? Difficulty is all over the place. Like, we are absolutely pushing. It's another race, another lap down. Easy, quick laps, easily getting up to the 130 mile an hour range. Very nice. Checkpoint. Yeah, they are way back there. Alright, very nice. Oh, a little bit of understeer. Little bit of understeer. But that's fine. We'll just keep pushing. Keep pushing. Push a little bit harder. There we go. 111.1 for the lap of our final lap. A lot of ones there. The Fiat did surprisingly well. I wonder what kind of modifications that had. What kind of crazy upgrades that one had to have. Alright, let's do the Grindelwald race. Let's see what we got there. I know that one also is a cheat code with the Corvette, but the Corvette doesn't have the crazy handling like the Ford GT does. The Ford GT is just absolutely broken and kind of breaks this event a little bit. But if we do this, we'll be in all the special events, which means we've beaten all the regular Gran Turismo League races and all the special events, which means we only have the endurance and rally events and the one-make events. So we're getting pretty close to beating GT2. Wait, what? Oh yeah, I guess this does have this one. The Ford GT actually can race in. This one actually can have the Ford GT. I forgot about that. A little bit of understeer. Thankfully though, we're better in the corners than the Ford GT in most scenarios. So we may actually, if the Stratos can bugger off, we may actually be able to do this without too much issue. Yeah, we're keeping up with the GT. Within a second. Oh gosh. Alright, a little bit of understeer. Can't quite brake as late as the 4GT. Gotta brake a little bit earlier. So we basically have to kind of outmaneuver it on the twisties. Oh gosh, it does have that straight line speed still though. In the one section of Grindelwald where that speed actually shows. Yeah! As well as we're gonna get the Stratos on us. Isaac finally with the mini, yes. The cute little mini. We gotta really keep pace with the Ford GT. Right back up with them. Better run out of the corner in the slipstream. Two cars from the 60s of very different theories of what makes a fast vehicle. We have the maneuverability of the Mini versus the raw power of the Ford GT. Stay on the inside. There we go. Alright, we got a little bit of a gap. But that Ford GT is going to be rapidly catching us. Holy moly. Keeping it close down to the wire. 2/10. Yeah, the Ford GT is no joke. That's for sure. Ford GT is very rapid. That's my wife messaging me. Let's make sure we save. I want to see what cars we get, but then we'll probably end the stream there. And have a little bit of a shorter stream, but we had a lot of streams this week, and the Paper Mario stream was one of the longer. It was one of the longer ones, you know. So you're getting your money's worth. Nah, I'm never gonna charge money for watching my stuff. This is a hobby. This is fun. This is just fun. At most, it'd be like the cheapest I can charge for like allowing people to use emotes, but even then, you know, it'd be, you know, nothing. Ooh. Alright, so we won the Lotus Europa. Very nice color. Are you kidding me? We just got one of those earlier today. Why don't we get another one? And then the XYR, what are you? Oh, the Celica concept car. Interesting. The XYR. Okay. Not bad, not bad. Let's make sure we save though, because we did sell a vehicle, and I don't want duplicates cluttering up our garage. I don't want duplicates cluttering up a garage. Let's make sure we save. Yeah, I wanna see with a lot of the trouble. Yeah, the Europe. It's a beautiful car though. The cute little bread van. But anyway, I'm gonna be ending the stream here. Thank you all so much for watching. I do appreciate it. If you enjoyed the stream, please leave a like, subscribe. Let me know what I'm wrong in the comments down below. If you didn't like the stream, please let me know what I'm poorly so I can fix in the future. With that being said, I'm Umbras, and wherever you are in the world, what time it is for you, may it be a great time, and I will see you all in the next stream. Until then, take care everybody. Bye bye!